Hello there, my name is Valerie White-Williams and I'd like to welcome you to my channel, Cosmic Splendor. And this is where I get to talk about astrology, spirituality, and how to feel safe in the world. So what I'm talking about today is clearing our energy field. Now, there's lots of different ways to clear your energy. Sometimes you can clear it by just like going outside or doing some music or just taking some private time. So when I was a student at the Washington Psychic Institute, they taught us how to clear our energy field. Now, the first thing we would do is grounding. So we talked about grounding. And so that's like the first step because we are energetic beings and energy needs to ground into the earth. Just like electrical energy, we have a grounding rod. So the very first thing when you feel like you're somewhat invaded or you're just like there's residue in your body and energy field, you're just going to close your eyes and breathe and use your breath to let go of anything that is keeping you from feeling clear. And you don't have to know, you don't have to diagnose, you don't have to go, oh, this happened, this person did this to me. You just have to just breathe down and imagine that grounding cord going all the way down to the center of the earth and just breathing out anything that is keeping you from feeling fully you. Because sometimes it's really easy to pick up energy. We can pick up energy from those we love, people at work. You could be riding a bus and there's somebody that you just feel that gets into your energy field. That's the thing, is that we can't always identify it. Sometimes we feel a little bit off and then it's a time to kind of turn within and just let go. So that breathing down your energy cord is one of the easiest ways to release that. Now, the other thing you can do is I talked about it in a video called Cosmic Energy, and you can imagine above your head this huge sun, this huge golden ball of energy. And you're going to allow that energy to just like shine down your back and what we call the back channels, and just let it purify. There's a purifying energy. Now, this is a lot of visualizing, but we have the power to visualize. What we visualize can manifest. And so by just visualizing this giant ball of energy and just feeling the cleansing power of it going through our aura and just allowing it to rain down, this is taking some practice, but it's another tool so you can just let it go through. So it basically cleanses your aura. Now, the other thing you want to feel is being aware of the aura, where the energy field is, because our energy can kind of, there's multiple levels of us. We're energetic beings, we're magnetic, and there's a lot going on. We're vibrational. So we can bring our energy in really close to our body. Like if you're on a crowded subway, you're not going to have your aura out everywhere because you're going to feel everybody's energy. So we naturally bring our aura in. And then, when we're in nature, it sometimes feels great to bring our aura out and feel everything. So that's the other thing. We sometimes need to think of bringing our aura in because then it doesn't feel so overwhelming when it feels kind of, we've attracted some mud. So when you breathe that energy through your crown chakra and into your channels, allow yourself to just let the body wash in this energy. Now, if gold isn't right for you, you might feel green, you might feel blue. You can experiment with different colors, but the gold, high vibration gold, is usually the best cleansing, but you can experiment with that. And of course, when you use your breath, you can actually allow yourself to cleanse. And it can take some time. It's probably longer than I can make in this video. But if you constantly just breathe it out, breathe it out. Now, sometimes when you're meditating, you can actually think of, okay, there's this person, we had this interaction, and I picked up some of that. So the other thing you can find is we have, the chakras. Sometimes you can find what we call energy cords in your chakras. They can happen in any chakra, but they typically can be third chakra, which is kind of a power, hooking into your power system. And then the fourth chakra is very common. You want to feel a love and affinity with people. And then sometimes the fifth chakra, because you're communicating with somebody. Sometimes you feel like, oh, there's something going on, like you're having this conversation. You can also have them on the second the sixth chakra as well, where people don't want to kind of blocking what you're seeing. So there's a lot of blockages. So when you have cords, this is where that energy comes through and it comes up your body, and you can just tune into that chakra, allow it to spin, and just think of removing anything that is there that's not yours. Because here's the thing, we are energy beings and we can pick up all this energy, and sometimes we don't know how to release it, because your body and your energy system is your universe. And we really don't want to have other things sticking onto it, because that's what makes us kind of become a little bit, I don't want to say unstable, but a little bit not fully ourselves. So it's kind of like an energy, it's almost like taking a shower. You take a shower, you cleanse off all the dirt and the oil and the stress of the day. We have to do that with our energy system. We need to purify our energy by doing that. Now, again, there's other ways to do it, doing Tai Chi, yoga, those are also great ways, but we have the power to use our visuals and our mind to work together to feel and clear out on an energy level. So with those energy cords, sometimes you have to tune in. This is a bit more advanced concept. You might tune in, but if you have some clairvoyance and psychic ability, you can kind of go, oh yeah, I can feel this from like my mom or my boyfriend or my friend. And then you can just remove it. So sometimes people want to keep those cords because they feel like, you want to feel connected to them. But when it's attached to your energy system, it's not really a healthy thing for us, because it can confuse us, it can make us feel controlled. And so it's easier to just remove them, because we are whole. And then we can talk to them in real life or communicate in a different way without feeling all kind of hooked up with all this stuff. And yes, there are energy vampires that do that. They actually want to get in your energy system. They want to kind of control you from the back door. And so we have to be aware of that and identify where that's coming from. So that's another way to cleanse your energy field. Now, if you are traveling on public, if you are actually use public transportation or you work in a busy office, it could be just a daily task. So when we were in the clairvoyance school and we were trained to do psychic readings, we had to what we call run our energy and meditate 30 minutes before we would jump into doing some energy work and also going and doing readings, because you can't do readings unless your system is clear, because you'll pick up what's in there. Again, it's almost like a radio signal and we're just picking up all this stuff, but we really need to take time to release things that aren't ours, that came from other people, other situations, and just cleanse your aura. We call that running energy. So we can run that also through the chakras, tune into it, feel them. Sometimes the chakras are really shut down. We want to breathe into them. So the breath is a perfect way to cleanse. That's why it's so used in so many different mediums, with martial arts, with yoga. So the breath is really clear. And allowing to breathe in and then release. Breathe in the energy. Breathe out the energy. And it's best to do it with your eyes closed, but you can learn to do it with your eyes open as well. And so that's how we do it. Now, the other thing I want to talk about too is sometimes you feel like you're really kind of tied in a knot with somebody, is making separations. So every time we did a reading, we actually did the meditation after. So we had to meditate before, we had to meditate after, so we could actually make separations from our fellow readies and the person we're reading with. Because we don't want to go home and feel like connected, because we need to make separations. So there's two ways that we used to do that. The first way, we would think about 5 differences. Now this sounds really silly, but 5 differences will keep you separate. And it could be simple as they have short hair, they have long hair, they have blue eyes, I have brown eyes. They don't have kids, I have kids. Things like that. So usually if you cannot think of 5 differences and it's hard, there's been a bit of merging. And so you can think of whatever it is. They're older than you, they live somewhere else, they're married, they're not, stuff like that. So you're gonna make separations. And then another way is using the symbol of a rose. And in my clairvoyant training, we use rose a lot because it's a neutral symbol. It also represents growing into the God of your heart because the rose opens and closes. So what we would do is we would create 2 roses, one for you, one for the person, and just imagine trading energy. So you're going to say this is me and this is somebody else. I'm going to imagine that I'm going to give back the energy to that person, and I'm going to take my energy back. And you can just visualize it just coming in like this. And then we use our hands a lot because it kind of helps it feel real because we're using a lot of visual things. And so when you move your hands, you think, okay, we're just bring everybody back to normal because we don't want to take on other people's energy. And it's so easy to do. So that's kind of how we cleanse and separate. And so at that point, you're not going to go home and take other people's energy. So we've all seen people that had a bad day at work and they come home and they're mad because someone yelled at them, blah, blah, blah. So what's happening in those situations is they're holding on to the energy of the day. They're holding on to that conversation that they might have had that was sticky and there's energy stuck there. So these are great tips to kind of bring yourself back to neutral, where you're not carrying other people's energy. And also, I want to speak about, because some people think, oh, that's nice, I'm going to help them. I'm going to take their energy into my space to help them. That's not a good idea. We can help others by being clear. And if we allow them to kind of come into our space, it's not going to help us. It might help them, but really we're kind of merged. And that merging, because we all can merge with things, but when we merge, we don't get that clarity because we have that influence outside of us that maybe isn't in our best interest. That's how it works. So constantly learning how to clear is a great habit to do, probably daily. And then when you feel really Twitter-pated, then it's more of time to take time to clear. Now, what happens sometimes when you're like so infested with other people's energy, you're angry and you don't want to do anything and you can kind of get stuck. So this is just a great reminder to just, when you're feeling that way, instead of being angry and just like doing something like play a video game or do something that's going to kind of distract you from all that stuck energy, it's best to just spend some time breathing. Go through all the tips that I talked about. And then I think you'll feel so much better. And then you can do and enjoy your day feeling like yourself and not like someone else. All right, so I hope these tips have been helpful. I'd love to hear about what works for you to clear your energy field. And if you've ever used some of these other tips, I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. All right, take care and I'll see you next time. Bye.